I'm Emily Harper. If you've ever been underestimated, ever felt abandoned just because you dared to be yourself, then this story is for you. Imagine this scene: a 15-year-old girl, her heart pounding, standing in the middle of the lavish living room of her family, a powerful, prestigious family, trying to pitch her first business idea. But instead of receiving support, I only received disdainful laughter and cold words. What does a girl know to want to do big things? That moment didn't just hurt me, it burned me. But from those ashes, a smoldering fire was lit. A fire that no one, including myself, could have imagined would grow so strong. Today, I want to tell you about the journey that no one knows about. From a little girl who was despised in her own family, to someone who quietly built a technology empire worth hundreds of millions of dollars, right under their suspicious eyes. A silent plan, a will that cannot be extinguished. And one flip left my whole family dumbfounded. All will be revealed now. If you love stories about resilience, overcoming prejudice, and changing the game, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss inspirational videos like this. Now let's start this surprising journey with me. The dining room in the Harper Mansion in Concord, Massachusetts, glows under the warm light of a crystal chandelier. Everything was perfect, except for the atmosphere, which was as tense as a string. I, then only 15 years old, sat at a long table made of mahogany that was so polished that it reflected the skeptical eyes of those around me. My hand tightened around the stack of documents, a detailed plan to save Harper Properties, the once famous real estate empire that was now on the brink of bankruptcy. I don't tremble with fear, but because of the strong belief boiling in my chest. I spent weeks buried in the library studying every chart and market trend, then writing down every idea with a flashlight under the blanket in the middle of the night. I'm prepared. I'm ready. This is my moment. "Emily, dear, pass the wine," Aunt Margaret says, her voice dripping with condescension. She doesn't even look at me, her eyes fixed on her perfectly manicured nails. I slide the bottle across the table, my jaw tightening. "I'd like to share something," I say, my voice steady despite the knot in my stomach. "I've been studying Harper Properties financials, and I think we can turn things around with some new marketing strategies." The room goes silent, forks pausing midair. My father, Richard Harper, leans back in his chair, his gray eyes narrowing. "Marketing strategies?" he repeats, his tone sharp enough to cut glass. "Emily, this isn't a school project. Business isn't for you." My eldest brother, James, snorts, swirling his glass. "What's this, Em? Your little homework assignment? Stick to debate club." "Or better yet," Aunt Margaret chimes in, her lips curling into a smirk, "focus on finding a nice husband, someone with a head for business." She laughs, and my mother, Elizabeth, gives a tight smile, her eyes darting away. I grip my papers tighter, the edges crumpling. "I'm serious," I say, my voice rising. "We're losing clients because our branding is outdated. I've outlined a digital campaign, social media, targeted ads, a new website. It could bring in younger buyers." "Enough," Father snaps, slamming his hand on the table. The crystal glasses tremble. "You're out of your depth, Emily. Women don't run businesses. They marry into them. Leave this to your brothers." My second brother, Thomas, leans forward, his brow furrowed. You're smart, but this is ambitious. Maybe try something smaller, like organizing the charity gala?" "Charity gala?" I spit the words, my face burning. "I'm not here to plan parties. I'm trying to save the company you're all running into the ground." "Watch your tone," Mother says softly, her voice barely above a whisper. She's always soft, always deferring, always invisible. Aunt Margaret laughs again, louder this time. "Oh, Richard, she's got spirit. Too bad it's wasted on pipe dreams." I look to my youngest brother, William, hoping for a shred of support. He's only 17, quieter than the others, but he just stares at his plate, avoiding my gaze. The room feels like it's closing in, their laughter and dismissal suffocating me. "Fine," I say, standing so fast my chair scrapes the floor. "Laugh all you want, but one day you'll see I was right." I grab my papers and storm out, their chuckles echoing behind me. In my room, I fling the papers onto my desk, tears stinging my eyes. I won't cry. I won't let them win. I pace, my mind racing. They think I'm nothing, a decoration for their perfect world. But I'm not. I'm more than their snide comments and outdated rules. I'm going to prove it. The next morning, I find Grandmother Lillian in her garden, her hands buried in the soil. She's the only one who listens, the only one who sees me. Her white hair is pulled into a loose bun, her eyes sharp despite her age. I tell her everything: the plan, the dinner, their laughter. She wipes her hands on her apron and pulls me into a hug. "They're wrong about you, Emily," she says, her voice firm. "You've got a mind for this, sharper than any of them. Don't let their smallness dim your light." "But how?" I ask, my voice breaking. "They'll never listen." She smiles, a glint in her eye. "Then don't ask for permission. Learn, grow, and build something they can't ignore. I'll help you." Over the next few weeks, Lillian becomes my anchor. She tells me stories of her own battles, how she balanced the books for grandfather's business in the shadows, never credited. "I was invisible," she says, "but you won't be." She slips me money for books, arranges private tutors for economics, and swears me to secrecy. "Your father would never approve," she warns. "This is our rebellion." I dive into my studies, hiding my ambitions behind a mask of compliance. At family gatherings, I play the dutiful daughter, nodding at talk of suitors and social seasons. But late at night, I'm devouring business journals, sketching ideas for Harper Properties, dreaming of a day when I'll stand taller than their doubts. The memory of that dinner burns in me, a coal that never cools. They laughed, but I'm not laughing. I'm planning. Every slight, every smirk fuels me. I'm not just going to save Harper Properties. I'm going to build something bigger, something they'll beg to be part of. And when I do, they'll choke on their words. Lillian's belief fuels my heart, but it's the fire of their doubt that sharpens my edge. I'm done being the quiet daughter in the corner. I'm Emily Harper, and I won't just rewrite their story. I'll burn the old script and build my own empire from the ashes. The scent of lavender wafted through Lillian's living room in Concord, Massachusetts, a gentle scent that evoked a strange feeling of concentration. I sat cross-legged on the soft velvet sofa, next to a thick stack of economics books, my back slightly hunched because I had stayed up many nights in a row. My eyes stung. My hair tied up in a neat bun revealed a tired but determined face. Across from me, Lillian, the woman who had been my grandmother's best friend and the mentor no one expected me to have, sat upright in a silk armchair. She took a sip of chrysanthemum tea, her gesture gentle but powerful. Her eyes looked at me, sharp as knives but not cold, but the kind of look that made me feel like I was being trained, not judged. "Let me see your latest analysis," she said. Her voice was steady, deep and warm, like a small fire in the middle of winter. Something that made me both want to get closer and want to be worthy of it. I hand her my notebook, pages filled with charts on real estate trends. "Boston's market is shifting," I say, pointing to a graph. "Young professionals want sustainable buildings. Harper Properties could pivot, but father's stuck on luxury estates." Lillian nods, her lips curving into a proud smile. "You see what they don't? That's your gift, Emily." She sets the notebook down and leans forward. "You're ready for more. I've enrolled you in an online business course. Stanford, top tier. I'll cover it. Your father can't know." My breath catches. "Stanford? Grandmother, I don't know what to say." "Say you'll make them regret underestimating you," she replies, her eyes glinting with defiance. "I was your grandfather's shadow, balancing his books while he took the credit. I won't let you be invisible." Her words ignite something in me, a spark that's been smoldering since that humiliating family dinner 3 years ago. I hug her tightly, whispering, "I won't let you down." Lillian becomes my secret ally, my North Star. She funds my courses, smuggling textbooks into the house like contraband. We meet in her parlor, away from father's prying eyes, dissecting case studies and financial models. Business isn't just numbers, she tells me one evening, her hands clasped. It's psychology. Learn to read people and you'll outsmart them all. I soak up her wisdom, but it's her belief in me that keeps me going. At home, I'm still the overlooked youngest child, dodging Aunt Margaret's barbs about marriage and Mother's gentle nudges towards social clubs. Emily, dear, have you met the Warrens' son? Mother asks at breakfast, her voice hopeful. I force a smile, stirring my oatmeal. Not yet, Mother. I have been busy with school. A lie, but safer than the truth. Father barely looks up from his newspaper. Good. Focus on your studies, not those foolish ideas of yours. His words sting, but I bite my tongue. Let them think I'm docile. I'm biding my time. When I'm 20, Lillian's health begins to fade. I find her one afternoon in her garden, weaker than usual, her hands trembling as she prunes roses. I'm not long for this world, she says bluntly, catching my worried look. But you, Emily, you're my legacy. Don't say that, I plead, kneeling beside her. You're going to be fine. She takes my hand, her grip surprisingly strong. Listen to me. I've left you something. A small trust, enough to start your journey. Use it wisely. Build something they can't ignore. Tears prick my eyes, but I nod. I will. I promise. Lillian passes away a year later, just after my 21st birthday. The funeral is a blur of black dresses and hushed condolences, but I feel her absence like a hole in my chest. Father speaks of her as a dutiful wife, and I want to scream. She was a titan, a rebel in a world that tried to cage her, and she chose me to carry her fire. At the reading of her will, the family gathers in a stuffy lawyer's office. Father inherits her estate, my brothers get shares in Harper Properties, and Mother receives her jewelry. Then the lawyer turns to me, his voice monotone. To Emily Harper, a trust of $50,000 to be used at her discretion. The room goes silent. Aunt Margaret's eyes narrow. 50,000? For what? Her little hobbies? Mother's choice, Father says curtly, but his jaw tightens. He thinks it's a waste, just like he thinks I'm a waste. I meet his gaze, my chin high. I'll make good use of it. My voice is calm, but inside I'm roaring. This is my chance, Lillian's final gift. That night, alone in my room, I open the letter Lillian left me, tucked inside a book of poetry. Her elegant script fills the page. Emily, you are my heart's rebellion. The world will try to dim you, but you are brighter than their doubts. Build your empire. Make them see. I clutch the letter, tears falling. She saw me when no one else did. Her trust isn't just money, it's freedom. I enroll in a dual degree program at the University of Massachusetts, Business and Information Technology, using her funds to cover what scholarships don't. I tell Father I'm studying literature, a suitable major for a woman. He grunts his approval, oblivious to my real plans. Lillian's voice echoes in my mind as I study late into the night, my desk littered with coffee cups and code. I'm not just learning, I'm arming myself. Every lesson, every line of code is a step toward the empire she dreamed for me. Father, Margaret, my brothers, they'll see me, not as their little girl, but as a force they can't dismiss. I'm not angry anymore. I'm focused. Lillian handed me the tools. Now I'm forging the future in fire and steel. One day, I won't just stand at their table. I'll sit at the head of it, because I built it. The memory of that humiliating dinner when I was 15 still clung to me like cold claws, even as I sat in my cramped dorm room at the University of Massachusetts. The pale blue light from the laptop screen bounced off the wall, casting my silhouette like a ghost from the past that had not yet let go. I'm 19 years old, a sophomore studying a dual program, business administration and information technology. The desk in front of me is a messy battlefield. Thick textbooks, empty coffee cups, and countless scribbled notes about real estate analysis algorithms. But I don't study tonight. I'm struggling with memories. Memories of the night I mustered up the courage to share my aspirations, and received sarcastic laughs, disdainful looks, and a cruel conclusion from my father that was sharper than any blade. Business is not for you. I close my eyes and I'm back at that polished mahogany table in Concord, my hands clutching my crumpled plan for Harper Properties. I was so earnest, so sure they'd listen. We could target younger buyers, I'd said, my voice trembling with hope. Digital campaigns, a modern website, it's what the market wants. Father's gray eyes had turned to ice. You're out of your depth, Emily. Women don't run businesses. James, my eldest brother, had laughed outright. Stick to debate club, Em. Aunt Margaret's smirk still burns in my mind. Find a husband with a head for business. Even Mother, with her soft, averted gaze, had stayed silent. Only William, my youngest brother, looked guilty, but he didn't speak up. I'd stormed out, vowing to prove them wrong. That vow is my fuel now, burning hotter with every late-night study session. They thought they could bury me under their expectations, but I'm digging my way out, one calculated step at a time. My phone buzzes, snapping me back to the present. It's a text from Grandmother Lillian's old friend, Professor Sarah Mitchell, who's become my mentor. Meet me at the cafe tomorrow. Got an idea for you? I smile, grateful for her guidance. Sarah, a former tech entrepreneur, sees the potential Lillian saw in me. She's the one who pushed me to blend business with tech, to think beyond Father's outdated empire. The next day, I meet Sarah at a bustling campus cafe, the air thick with the scent of espresso. She's in her 50s, her silver hair cropped short, her eyes sharp behind wire-rimmed glasses. You look tired, she says, sliding a coffee toward me. Late night, I admit, sipping the bitter brew. Trying to crack a coding problem for my IT class? She leans forward, her voice low. You're not just a student, Emily. You're a strategist. I've been watching you. Your ideas in class, your questions. You're thinking like a CEO already. My cheeks flush, but I shake my head. I'm just trying to keep up. My family, they don't see it. Then make them see, Sarah says, her tone fierce. You told me about that dinner, how they laughed at you. Use it. Let it drive you, but don't let it blind you. I nod, her words sinking in. I want to build something, I say, my voice steady. Something bigger than Harper Properties. Something they can't ignore. Sarah smiles, pulling a flyer from her bag. There's a startup pitch competition in Boston next month. Small, but it's a start. Present an idea. Any idea. I'll help you refine it. My heart races. A competition? The thought terrifies me, but it also thrills me. What if I fail? I ask, my voice barely above a whisper. You won't, Sarah says, because you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you. Over the next few weeks, I pour myself into the pitch. I develop a concept for a digital platform to streamline real estate marketing, inspired by my old plan for Harper Properties. Sarah drills me on my presentation, tearing apart my slides and rebuilding them stronger. Be confident, not cocky, she says during one late-night session. Own the room. The night of the competition, I stand backstage in a borrowed blazer, my stomach in knots. The auditorium is packed, a sea of unfamiliar faces. My name is called, and I step into the spotlight, my heart pounding. Good evening, I begin, my voice clear. I'm Emily Harper, and I'm here to revolutionize real estate marketing. For 10 minutes, I lay out my vision, a platform that uses data analytics to target buyers, cutting costs and boosting sales. The judges lean forward, scribbling notes. When I finish, the applause is polite but real. I don't win, but I place third, and a judge pulls me aside afterward. You've got something, he says. Keep going. That night, I lie awake in my dorm, the judge's words echoing alongside Sarah's and Lillian's. They believe in me, even if my family doesn't. But keeping this secret is exhausting. At home for Thanksgiving, I play the dutiful daughter, dodging Father's questions about my literature major. How's school? He asks over turkey, his tone bored. Fine, I lie, My smile tight. Lots of reading. Aunt Margaret chimes in, her voice syrupy. Have you met any nice boys, Emily? You're not getting any younger. I grit my teeth. Not yet, Aunt Margaret. I'm focused on my studies. She laughs and James smirks. Good. Leave the real work to us. Their words still sting, but they no longer wound. I don't flinch because I'm no longer that 15-year-old girl trembling under their judgment, aching for a scrap of approval. I've traded silence for strategy. In the quiet hours when the world sleeps, I'm laying the foundation of something far bigger than they could imagine. Every sleepless night, every line of code, every idea sharpened by rejection. It's all part of the empire I'm quietly constructing. They laughed at me once. Let them. The next time they look my way, they won't see a girl. They'll see the storm I've become. The fluorescent lights of the University of Massachusetts Library made a faint buzzing sound, covering the space with a cold and old look. I leaned close to the laptop screen, my fingers diligently gliding across the keyboard as if each tap was a stroke of my own destiny. I'm 22 years old, a senior with a double major. Business administration and information technology. 2 majors, 2 worlds, like 2 crisscrossed ropes that I have to walk every day as if I were walking on a tightrope in midair. No safety net, no one to applaud. My desk was a battlefield. Empty energy drink cans, textbooks so marked that their covers were crumpled, and a notebook crammed with real estate analysis algorithms, cold symbols of a grand plan that had never been revealed. It's 2 a.m. now. The library is almost deserted, but I'm still here. Not for scores, not for a degree. I stayed because the fire had been burning since I was 15, when I was laughed at and heard my own father say I didn't belong in the business world. I don't just study. I'm forging weapons, I'm building a battle map, a quiet war that no one in my family knew was going on, and I had no intention of losing. My phone vibrates, a text from Professor Sarah Mitchell, lighting up the screen. Check your email. Internship opportunity at Innovate Systems. Perfect for you. My heart skips. Innovate Systems, a small tech firm in Boston, is known for cutting-edge software. An internship there could be my bridge from theory to practice. I open the email, scan the details, and apply before I can second-guess myself. By morning, I've got an interview. The interview is a blur of sharp questions and sharper nerves. I wear a secondhand blazer, my hair pulled back tightly, and channel Sarah's advice. Own the room. When they ask why I'm interested in tech, I don't mention Harper Properties or my family's dismissal. Instead, I say, I see technology as the future of business. I want to build tools that solve real problems. They nod, impressed, and a week later, I'm offered the role. Not as a developer, but as a product analyst. It's a start. I tell my family I'm taking a clerical internship, a lie that slips out easily. At Sunday dinner in Concord, Father barely looks up from his roast beef. Clerical work suits you, he says, his tone dismissive. Something stable. Aunt Margaret smirks, swirling her wine. Better than those silly ideas you had, Emily. What was it? Marketing plans? She laughs, and my brothers, James, Thomas, and William, exchange amused glances. I force a smile, my nails digging into my palms under the table. Just keeping busy, I say, my voice light. Inside, I'm seething. They think I'm a secretary, a docile girl filing papers. Let them. Their ignorance is my shield. At Innovate Systems, I'm anything but docile. I dive into product development, analyzing user feedback, and suggesting features for their project management software. My manager, Rachel, notices my knack for spotting inefficiencies. You've got an eye for this, she says one day, reviewing my report on streamlining client workflows. Ever thought about starting your own company? I hesitate, then nod. Someday, I say, my voice steady. The idea has been simmering since Lillian's death. Her trust fund a seed waiting to be planted. But I need skills, connections, and a plan. Innovate is my training ground. To pay for school, I work daytime shifts at a campus coffee shop, pouring lattes while memorizing code. My nights are split between classes, internships, and secret projects, mock-ups for a real estate management platform I've been dreaming up. Sarah mentors me through it, meeting me weekly at a diner near campus. Your platform's solid, she says, scribbling notes on my latest prototype. But it needs a hook, something competitors don't have. Customization, I say, leaning forward. Every real estate firm has unique needs. What if the software adapts to them, using AI to predict market shifts? Her eyes light up. That's your edge. Keep refining it. I do, pouring Lillian's trust fund into coding boot camps and online courses to sharpen my skills. My life is a balancing act. Barista by day, analyst by evening, visionary by night. I barely sleep, but I don't care. Every step brings me closer to proving them wrong. Father, Margaret, my brothers, all of them. Holidays at home are the hardest. Christmas in Concord is a glittering facade. The Harper estate decked in lights while I play the role of dutiful daughter. Emily, you're looking thin, Mother says, her voice soft with worry. Are you working too hard? Just studying, I lie, passing the mashed potatoes. She nods, reassured, but her concern feels hollow. She never fought for me, never challenged Father's decrees. James, now managing Harper Properties sales, brags about a new deal. Closed $1 million property today, he says, smirking. Real business, Em, not your little office job. Good for you, I say, my tone neutral. I want to scream that I'm analyzing software that could outpace his deals, but I bite my tongue. My time will come. William, the youngest, catches my eye across the table. You okay, Em? He asks quietly, his voice almost drowned out by Margaret's laughter. Fine, I say, offering a tight smile. He's the only one who ever seems to notice me, but he's too timid to challenge the others. I don't blame him. I used to be timid too. Back at school, I push harder. Sarah introduces me to a network of women in tech, and I attend meetups, soaking up knowledge like a sponge. I'm not just building a platform. I'm building myself, piece by piece, into someone my family won't recognize. They laughed at my plan at 15, but I'm not that girl anymore. I'm a strategist, a coder, a dreamer with a purpose. As graduation nears, I often reach into my desk drawer and run my fingers across the edges of Lillian's letter, the one that simply says, build your empire. Not dream, not try, build. It's not just a wish, it's a command, a legacy. My prototype is no longer a mock-up. It's a blueprint for disruption. While Father still thinks I'm filing paperwork, and Margaret imagines I'm counting down the days until spinsterhood, I'm quietly architecting a future they're not invited to. Let them keep underestimating me. Their ignorance is my invisibility cloak. And the perfect cover. I'm not just Emily Harper, the forgotten daughter. I'm Emily Harper, the architect of a revolution, and I'm done playing small. The constant buzzing from the server farm echoed throughout Innovate Systems' small office in Boston, like the heartbeat of a machine operating in the middle of the night. I sat at my desk, surrounded by thick stacks of documents, all user feedback, rough pieces for a picture that only I could clearly see. At 24 years old, I just graduated from the University of Massachusetts with a double degree in hand. My title is product analyst, but if you ask my family, they'll still say I'm just an euphemistically called assistant. To them, I am still a child who is not strong enough to do anything great. And I let them believe that. Because this small room, this cramped, hot, messy place, is my battlefield, where I silently hone my skills, learning from each system error, each line of unoptimized code, where I don't have to ask anyone's permission to start my dream. On the laptop screen, the first prototype appeared, a real estate project management platform. It's still early days, not yet complete, but I know that this is the first seed, not an idea, which is the first brick of the empire that I have cherished in silence for nearly a decade. I glance at the clock. 6 p.m., most of the team has left, but I'm waiting for Lauren Chen, a software engineer I've been eyeing as a potential ally. We've collaborated on a few projects, and her coding is surgical. Her mind is sharp as mine. If I'm going to turn my prototype into reality, I need her. Lauren strides in, her backpack slung over one shoulder, her dark hair tied back. You said you had an idea? She asks, dropping into a chair. Her tone is curious but skeptical, and I respect that. She's not here for fluff. I take a deep breath, sliding my laptop toward her. This is Novatech Solutions, I say, pointing to the mock-up. A platform to streamline real estate project management, budgets, timelines, client communication. It's customizable, AI-driven, and built for firms like the one my family runs. Lauren raises an eyebrow, scrolling through the interface. Ambitious. What's the catch? No catch, I say, leaning forward. The market's clogged with clunky software. I've seen it firsthand. My family's company is bleeding money because of inefficiencies. This fixes that. I want to build it and I want you in. She studies me, her eyes narrowing. You're not just an analyst, are you? What's your real story? I hesitate. Nobody at Innovate knows about Harper Properties or my past, but Lauren's directness demands honesty. My family owns a real estate firm in Concord, I admit. They're traditional. Think women shouldn't touch business. I've been proving them wrong my whole life. This is my shot to do it for good. Lauren nods slowly, a spark of respect in her gaze. All right, Harper. I'm listening. What's your pitch? For the next hour, I lay it out. The platform's features, the market gap, the revenue model. I've saved every penny from Lillian's trust and my barista shifts. Enough for seed funding. We start small, I say. A lean team, a beta version. If it works, we scale. Lauren leans back, crossing her arms. You're serious about this. But why me? Because you're the best coder here, I say bluntly. And you don't bullshit. I need someone who'll call me out and build something bulletproof. She laughs, a short, sharp sound. Fair, I'm in Sen on one condition. We're equals. Co-founders, not boss and employee. Deal, I say, extending my hand. We shake. And just like that, Novatech Solutions is born. We set up shop in a tiny rented office in San Diego, far from Concord's prying eyes. I tell my family I've taken a permanent assistant job in California, a lie they swallow without question. At Thanksgiving, Father grunts his approval. Good to see you settling, he says, carving turkey. Stability's what you need. Aunt Margaret smirks. An assistant? Well, it's a start, Emily. Maybe you'll meet someone out there? I nod, my smile practiced. Maybe. Inside, I'm screaming. I'm building a company that could eat Harper Properties for breakfast. In San Diego, Lauren and I work like fiends. By day, I'm strategizing, meeting potential clients, and refining our pitch. By night, I'm coding alongside Lauren, our desks littered with takeout boxes. Our first prototype launches 6 months later, a bare-bones version we test with a small real estate firm in La Jolla. They love it. This saved us weeks, their manager says, signing a contract. Where have you been hiding? Under the radar, I reply, my heart racing. It's working. But keeping my double life is a tightrope. I fly back to Concord for holidays, renting a cheap studio apartment to maintain the facade of Assistant Emily. At Christmas, William pulls me aside, his brow furrowed. You seem different, he says. What's going on out there? Just work, I say, avoiding his eyes. He's the only one who might suspect, but I can't risk the truth. Not yet. Novatech grows quietly. We hire a small team, developers, a marketer, a UI designer. Lauren and I bootstrap, pouring our savings into the company. By year 2, we've got 10 clients, and our platform is generating buzz. A tech blog calls us the future of real estate management, and I have to stop myself from framing it. I can't afford to get cocky. Late one night, Lauren and I sit in our office celebrating a new contract with cheap wine. You ever think about telling them? She asks, nodding toward a photo of my family on my desk. Your folks, I mean. I swirl my glass, the memory of that dinner at 15 flashing through my mind. Not yet, I say. They'll know when I'm ready, when Novatech's too big to ignore. Lauren grins. You're a little scary, Harper. I like it. I laugh, but it's not revenge that drives me anymore. It's vision. I'm not just proving them wrong. I'm building something that outlives the noise. Something Lillian would look at and say, "You did it your way." This isn't exile. It's incubation. Every line of code, every pitch, every sleepless night, it's not for their validation. It's for the legacy I'm crafting with my own two hands. And when the time comes, I won't step out of the shadows to be noticed. I'll rise into the light because the world won't be able to ignore me. The San Diego skyline sparkles in the sunset, silhouetted against the window of my modest office at Novatech Solutions. I sat motionless in front of the screen, eyes glued to the numbers in the latest financial report. The numbers don't lie. I am 30 years old, and Novatech is no longer just a wild idea of the night. It is a $300 million company with 70 talented employees and a network of customers spanning across the United States. On the screen, the dashboard glowed with data. Customer retention rate, 95%. Growth over the same period, 4%. The numbers don't just represent success, they are living proof of the journey I've silently walked through. Lauren and I have created something that cannot be denied. No longer a dream, but a reality that is operating, profitable, and growing. But in Concord, Massachusetts, where old memories still reside in houses with copper-colored tiled roofs, I'm still just Emily. The assistant girl lives a peaceful life in California. They don't know. No need to know. The lie I kept for so many years was a burden, but also an armor I put on to avoid being hurt anymore. I choose to stay silent, not because I'm afraid, but because I know. The day they discover the truth, they won't be able to laugh anymore. I lean back, rubbing my temples. Keeping this double life is exhausting. In San Diego, I'm a CEO, commanding boardrooms and negotiating deals. In Massachusetts, I'm a shadow, renting a cramped studio apartment for visits home, dodging questions about my job. I avoid industry events, decline magazine profiles, and use a pseudonym for public filings. Novatech's success is my secret, and I guard it fiercely. My phone buzzes. A text from Lauren. "Dinner tonight? We deserve a break." I smile, typing back, "You're on, 7 p.m. Usual spot." Lauren's my anchor, the only one who knows the full truth about my past. She's seen me at my lowest, like when I cried after a client bailed early on, and at my highest, like when we landed our first $1 million contract. At the restaurant, a cozy taco joint by the beach, Lauren slides into the booth across from me, her eyes gleaming. "You see the numbers?" she asks, popping a chip into her mouth. "We're killing it. Time to go public?" I shake my head, sipping my margarita. "Not yet. An IPO would put me on every radar. My family would find out." She raises an eyebrow. "You can't hide forever, Em. You're running a damn empire. Why not rub it in their faces?" I laugh, but it's hollow. I will, when the time's right. I want them to see it all at once. Novatech, the revenue, the power. Not a news article, but me, standing in front of them. Lauren nods, her expression softening. "Just don't let it eat you up. You've already won." Her words linger as I fly to Concord for Thanksgiving the next week. The Harper estate is as grand as ever, its marble floors gleaming under chandeliers, but the mood is tense. Harper Properties is struggling. Father's mentioned tough quarters in passing, and James, now VP of Sales, looks haggard. I play my role, setting the table, smiling at Aunt Margaret's barbs. "Still in that assistant job, Emily?" Margaret asks, her voice dripping with pity as she passes the cranberry sauce. "Yes," I lie, my tone even. "It keeps me busy." Mother frowns, her hands twisting her napkin. "You're so far away, dear. Don't you want to come home? Maybe help with the gala?" I force a smile. "I'm happy where I am, Mother." She nods, but her eyes are distant as always. William, sitting beside me, leans in. "You don't seem like an assistant," he says quietly, his brow furrowed. "What's really going on?" My heart skips, but I shrug. "Just work, Will. You know how it is." He doesn't push, but his gaze lingers, and I wonder if he's starting to see through me. Back in San Diego, Novatech's growth accelerates. We launch a new AI feature, predicting market trends with eerie accuracy, and sign a deal with a major firm in Chicago. Late one night, I'm in the office reviewing contracts when Lauren bursts in, waving her phone. "Check this," she says, showing me an email from a venture capital firm. Stellar Ventures wants to partner with us. They're offering $50 million to expand. I scan the email, my mind racing. Stellar Ventures is a subsidiary we quietly set up last year to scout acquisitions. It's my brainchild, a way to grow Novatech's influence without exposing me. "This is big," I say, grinning. "Let's play it carefully." We spend weeks strategizing, positioning Stellar as an independent entity. I'm meticulous, ensuring no paper trail leads back to me. It's a chess game, and I'm 3 moves ahead. But the real test comes when I get a call from Sarah Mitchell, my old mentor, now a consultant in Boston. "Emily," she says, her voice urgent. "Harper Properties is in trouble. I heard through the grapevine. They're hemorrhaging cash. Your father's looking for buyers." My pulse quickens. "How bad is it?" "Bad. They're considering a fire sale. You need to decide what you're doing. Stay in the shadows or step up." I hang up, staring at the San Diego skyline. Harper Properties, the empire that crushed my dreams at 15, is crumbling. And I'm holding the pieces to save it or destroy it. I call Lauren, my voice steady. "We're moving on Harper. Stellar Ventures makes an offer, but we keep my name out of it." She whistles. "You're playing with fire, Harper." "Good," I say. "Let it burn." I'm done hiding. This isn't about secrets anymore. It's about control. Every calculated step, every silent move I've made has led to this moment. I'm not just preparing to face them. I'm preparing to eclipse them. When I walk into that boardroom, it won't be as the forgotten daughter they once dismissed. It will be as the unseen force that rose while they looked the other way. The mind behind the offer that could save them, or bury them. They used to laugh. Soon they'll have no choice but to look me in the eye and realize Emily Harper is not their assistant. She's the storm they never saw coming. The air in my San Diego office felt tense with an invisible energy. The steady hum of my laptop was the only sound in the brightly lit room as I sat motionless, eyes glued to the screen. On top of that, an email just arrived from Stellar Ventures' legal team. Novatech Solutions, the $300 million empire I quietly built, was about to make a move that could turn the game around. The email confirmed what I had been waiting for years. We would invest $90 million in Harper Properties, my family's moribund real estate company in Concord. They don't know that Stellar is just a subsidiary, a smart shadow created from Novatech. And certainly, they didn't know that I was the one behind it all. I put my hand on the keyboard. The fingers glided with the determination of someone who had planned each step many years ago. My heart was pounding, not just from fear, but from excitement. This is the chess game that I have been silently planning since that night when I was 15 years old, when I was laughed at right in the middle of the dinner table. And now the pieces begin to move. I did not type a retort. I invest. And I'm about to become the savior they never dared to imagine. I call Lauren, my co-founder, who's in our office down the hall. "It's done," I say when she picks up. "Stellar's offer is in. They'll get it tomorrow." She lets out a low whistle. "You're really doing this? What if they take the money and keep screwing it up?" "Then we pivot," I say, my voice steady. "But they won't. They're desperate. Father's pride won't let him sell outright. Not yet. He'll bite." Lauren laughs. "You're terrifying, Harper. I almost feel bad for them." "Don't," I say, a smile tugging at my lips. "They earned this." I lean back, the memory of that dinner at 15 flashing through my mind, Father's cold dismissal, Aunt Margaret's smirk, James's laughter. "Business isn't for you," Father had said. I've spent half my life proving him wrong, building Novatech in the shadows while playing the dutiful daughter. Now, Harper Properties is on its knees, and I'm holding the lifeline. The crisis at Harper Properties has been brewing for months. Their flagship project, Riverfront Plaza, a luxury development in Boston, is a disaster. Construction costs have spiraled, permits are tangled in legal disputes, and investors are pulling out. Sarah Mitchell, my old mentor, tipped me off last week. They're holding an emergency meeting, she'd said. Your father's talking about bankruptcy or selling to a rival, Crestwood Holdings. Crestwood? I'd scoffed. They'd gut the company and fire half the staff. Exactly, Sarah had replied. If you're going to act, it's now. I'd spent the night strategizing with Lauren, crafting Stellar's offer to outshine Crestwood's. $90 million for a controlling stake, with a plan to integrate Novatech's software to streamline operations. It's a lifeline, but it's also a trap, one that will force my family to face me. I fly to Concord the next day, my cover as Assistant Emily, intact. The Harper estate feels smaller than I remember, its grandeur faded by the weight of failure. At dinner, the mood is grim. Father's face is etched with worry, his gray hair thinner than last year. James, usually smug, picks at his food. Mother's hands tremble as she pours wine, and Aunt Margaret's usual barbs are absent. Only William seems calm, watching me with that quiet intensity I've never quite shaken. Rough quarter? I ask, keeping my tone neutral as I pass the potatoes. Father sighs, rubbing his temples. More than rough. Riverfront's a mess. We're exploring options. Options? I press, my heart racing. I need to know how close they are to accepting. James snaps. Not your concern, Em. Stick to your typing job. James, Mother says softly, but she doesn't defend me. She never does. William leans forward. What kind of options, Father? Selling? Father's jaw tightens. Possibly. Crestwood Holdings made an offer. Or there's a new player. Stellar Ventures. They're offering $90 million. Generous, but complicated. My pulse spikes, but I keep my face blank. Stellar Ventures? Who are they? Some tech outfit. Father says dismissively. They think they can fix us with software. Arrogant, but their money's real. Aunt Margaret snorts. Software? Richard, you can't trust these Silicon Valley types. Crestwood's safer. Crestwood will dismantle us. Thomas, my second brother, cuts in. Stellar's plan keeps the company intact. We'd just lose control. The word hangs in the air. Control. Father's lifeline, his identity. I bite my lip to hide a smile. They're already debating my offer, and they have no idea I'm in the room. That night, I lie awake in my rented studio. The weight of what's coming pressing on me. The family's meeting with Stellar tomorrow, and I've arranged to attend, virtually as a consultant for Stellar, my identity obscured. Lauren's running point in person, armed with my script. It's not time for the reveal yet. I need them to commit to sign the deal, to hand me the keys before I show my face. The next morning, I joined the video call from my laptop, my camera off, my voice disguised by software. Lauren's in the Harper Properties boardroom, presenting Stellar's offer with flawless precision. Father's voice crackles through my headphones, skeptical but desperate. Your software can really turn this around? He asks. Absolutely, Lauren replies, her tone confident. Our platform's already transformed firms like yours. We'll cut costs, boost efficiency, and get Riverfront back on track. James interrupts, his voice sharp. And what's in it for you? Why do you care about a sinking ship? Lauren doesn't flinch. We see potential. Harper Properties has a legacy. With our tech, it can be a leader again. I hold my breath as Father hesitates. We'll need to review the terms, he says finally. But we're interested. My heart surges, not with joy, but with control. They're in. The trap is set. I kill the mic and lean back, exhaling slowly. One more move and the board is mine. Soon, I won't be the girl they dismissed over dinner and silence. I'll be the architect of their second chance, or their final collapse. They laughed at me when I was 15. But now, I don't just play the game. I own it. I rewrite it. And this time, they play by my rules. The conference room at Harper Properties in Concord, Massachusetts, smells strongly of polished wood and cold coffee, but the tension in the air is sharp enough to cut through both. I stood at the head of the conference table in a neat black suit, the complete opposite of the girl who trembled and asked to speak in this very place. But today I don't ask permission. Today I come to expose the truth. My family, father, mother, James, Thomas, William, and Aunt Margaret, sat upright in front of me. Their faces a mixture of confusion, wariness, and not understanding what was about to happen. Lauren, my loyal co-founder, remained close by like a steady anchor in choppy waters, her eyes never leaving mine for even a second. A deal with Stellar Ventures is on the table, and they're about to discover who's really been directing all of this from the shadows. Father clears his throat, his gray eyes narrowing. Miss Chen, where's your CEO? We were told Stellar's head would be here to finalize the terms. Lauren glances at me, a faint smile on her lips. They're here, she says, stepping back. I take a deep breath, my heart steady despite the storm inside. That would be me, I say, my voice clear, commanding the room. I'm Emily Harper, CEO of Novatech Solutions and Stellar Ventures. The silence is deafening. Father's jaw tightens, his pen frozen midair. Mother gasps, her hand flying to her mouth. James leans forward, his face reddening. What the hell is this? He snaps. Some kind of joke? No joke, I say, meeting his glare. Novatech is my company. Stellar is my subsidiary. The $90 million offer you're considering? That's mine. Aunt Margaret laughs, a shrill, disbelieving sound. This is absurd, Emily. You're an assistant. You've been filing papers in California, not running a company. I hold her gaze, unflinching. I haven't been an assistant for years, Margaret. I built Novatech from nothing. 70 employees, $300 million in valuation, clients nationwide. While you were laughing at me, I was building an empire. Mother's voice trembles. Emily, why didn't you tell us? Why? I turn to her, my voice sharp but controlled. Because you didn't listen. None of you did. I step forward, my eyes sweeping the table. 15 years ago, I stood in this house with a plan to save this company. I was 15 and you laughed. Father, you said business wasn't for me. James, you told me to stick to debate club. Margaret, you said I should find a rich husband. And Mother, you stayed silent. Father's face pales, but he doesn't speak. I press on, the words I've held for years spilling out. You dismissed me, belittled me, told me I was nothing. So I stopped asking for your approval. I built Novatech in secret, and now I'm here, offering to save Harper Properties. Not because you deserve it, but because I can. James slams his hand on the table. This is a trick. You expect us to believe you're some tech mogul? You're lying. Lauren steps forward, her voice calm but firm. She's not lying. I'm Lauren Chen, co-founder of Novatech. Emily's been running this company for 7 years. The financials, the contracts, the tech, it's all real. Check the records. Thomas, always the pragmatist, pulls out his phone, scrolling frantically. After a moment, he looks up, his face ashen. She's telling the truth. She's telling Novatech's valued at $300 million. Stellar Ventures is theirs. It's all here. William, quiet until now, stares at me, his eyes wide. How? How did you do this? I soften, just for a moment. With help, I say, glancing at Lauren. And because of grandmother Lillian, she believed in me when none of you did. She funded my education, taught me to fight. This is her legacy as much as mine. Father finally speaks, his voice hoarse. You've been deceiving us. All these years lying about your job, your life. Deceiving? I laugh, the sound bitter. I protected myself. You gave me no choice. You wanted me small, obedient, invisible. I refused to be. Margaret's voice rises, shrill. This is a betrayal. You've manipulated us, schemed behind our backs. No, I snap, my patience fraying. I survived you, and now I'm offering you a way out. I slide a contract across the table. Novatech will acquire Harper Properties for $100 million, full buyout. You keep 25% equity, but I run the show. Or you can take Crestwood's offer, let them gut the company, and lose everything. Father's hands tremble as he picks up the contract. You'd take our family's legacy? After everything? Your legacy was failing, I say, my voice cold. Riverfront Plaza is a disaster because you ignored the market. My software, my strategy can fix it, but only if you let go. James stands, his chair scraping. I won't let you steal this company, Emily. You're not one of us. I meet his eyes, unflinching. I never was. You made sure of that. Mother's voice breaks through, soft and pleading. Emily, please. We're your family. Can't we talk about this? I hesitate, the weight of her words tugging at me, but I can't waver now. We're talking, I say. But this is business, not a family reunion. You have until tomorrow to decide. I turn without another word, Lauren's footsteps steady beside mine. Wait. William's voice cuts through the tension, but I don't turn back. The boardroom doors shut behind me with a finality that feels like thunder in my chest. For a moment, I let myself breathe. Sharp, shaking, but free. I've torn off every mask, exposed every truth they never bothered to see. They thought I was small. They made sure I believed it too. But today they saw what I became in the silence they left me in. They're scrambling now. Stunned, cornered, afraid. The game isn't over. But I'm no longer just a player. I'm the one holding the board. And I know exactly how this ends. The morning after the boardroom confrontation, I sat in a small coffee shop in Concord, the bitter taste of espresso making me dizzy as I quietly waited for the aftershocks. The phone next to me was silent, but I knew that on the other side, my family was reeling amid fragments of the truth. Yesterday, I stood up to reveal myself as the CEO of Novatech Solutions, the faceless man behind Stellar Ventures' $90 million offer to save the company they once refused to let me touch. Their faces are still clear in my mind. The shock that froze Father's eyes, the fierce rage in James, and the silent devastation that drained the light from Mother's eyes. And for the first time in my life, I didn't shy away, didn't stoop, didn't ask permission, didn't bow my head. But the victory brought with it a heavy feeling, a deep sadness that I did not expect, a mixed feeling between being recognized and losing something that cannot be named. I had won a big battle, but the battle to regain my family legacy, and what I craved most, their respect, remained open. Lauren texts me from San Diego. You okay? Heard you dropped a bomb. I smile faintly, typing back. Still standing, waiting for their move. I set the phone down, my eyes drifting to the contract on my laptop. Novatech's buyout offer is generous. $100 million for Harper Properties, with 25% equity for the family. It's a lifeline, but it comes with a price. Control. Father's pride, James's ego, Margaret's disdain. They'll fight to keep it, even if it means losing everything. My thoughts are interrupted by William, who slides into the booth across from me, his face pale. He says, his voice low. What the hell was that yesterday? You're a CEO? How did we not know? I meet his gaze, my guard up. You didn't know because you didn't see me, Will? None of you did. I was the kid with big ideas you all laughed at. I had to build this on my own. He flinches, running a hand through his hair. I didn't laugh, Em. Not like James or Margaret. I didn't know how to help. You could have spoken up, I say, my voice sharp. At that dinner when I was 15, when Father told me I was out of my depth, you looked at your plate. He nods, his eyes dropping. Dang, I was a coward, I'm sorry. But this, Novatech Stellar, it's incredible. You're incredible. Why hide it so long? I soften, just a fraction. I hid it to protect it. You know how father is. If he'd known, he'd have tried to control me. Or worse, dismiss it. I needed to be undeniable first. William leans forward, his voice earnest. He's shaken, Em. They all are. Father's locked in his study, James is ranting about betrayal, and Mother… She's crying. She thinks she failed you. My chest tightens, but I push it down. She did, I say quietly. She never fought for me. None of you did except Grandmother Lillian. He nods, accepting the truth. What now? Your offer? It's generous, but Father's pride is on the line. James wants to take Crestwood's deal out of spite. Crestwood will gut the company, I say, my tone flat. They'll fire half the staff, sell the assets, and erase the Harper name. My plan keeps the legacy alive, but I'm not begging. They have until noon. William exhales, his shoulders slumping. I'll talk to them. I don't know if it'll help, but I'm on your side, Em. For what it's worth. I study him, searching for a lie, but his eyes are steady. It's worth something, I say finally. Thank you. He leaves and I'm alone again, the weight of the moment pressing on me. Noon comes and my phone buzzes. A call from Father's lawyer. Miss Harper, he says, his voice formal. Your family has reviewed the offer. They're ready to negotiate. Negotiate, not reject. My pulse quickens as I drive to the Harper Properties office. The boardroom is less hostile today, but the tension is palpable. Father sits at the head, his face haggard. James glares, arms crossed. Thomas looks resigned. Margaret's lips are pursed, and Mother's eyes are red-rimmed. William gives me a small nod. I take my seat, Lauren beside me with the contracts. You've had time to review, I say, my voice calm but firm. What's your decision? Father clears his throat, his voice strained. Your offer is substantial, but we can't hand over control. We propose 51% equity for the family, $80 million. I laugh, sharp and unyielding. You're not in a position to dictate terms, Father. Harper Properties is weeks from bankruptcy. My offer, $100 million, 25% equity, is final. Take it, or Crestwood carves you up. James slams his fist on the table. You're not taking my company, Emily. It's not yours, I snap, my eyes locking onto his. It's drowning, and I'm the only one who can save it. Step up or step aside. Thomas speaks, his voice measured. She's right, James. Crestwood's offer is worse. Emily's plan keeps us in the game. Margaret scoffs. This is blackmail. No, I say, my voice cold. This is business. Mother's voice breaks the silence, soft and pleading. Emily, I'm sorry. I should have listened. Should have seen you. Please, don't destroy us. Her words hit harder than I expected, but I hold firm. I'm not destroying you, Mother. I'm rebuilding, but it's my way now. After hours of back and forth, they relent. Father signs the contract, his hand shaking. Novatech absorbs Harper Properties, birthing Harper Nova Enterprises. I appoint Father as an advisor, a symbolic role to ease his pride. Thomas takes sales, William leads community projects, and James, unable to stomach my leadership, resigns. Mother, quietly remorseful, starts planning charity initiatives. As I leave the boardroom, William catches my arm. You did it, Em. I'm proud of you. I nod, the weight of his words settling in. The fight's not over, but I've claimed my place. They laughed at me once, but now they're following my lead. The empire is mine, and I'm just getting started. The glass walls of Harper Nova Enterprises' new headquarters in Boston sparkled in the morning sunlight, reflecting not only the city skyline, but also my own image. A 30-year-old woman, clad in a perfectly tailored navy blazer, no longer living in the shadows. It's been 6 months since Novatech officially absorbed Harper Properties, and now I stand in a position no one ever believed I could reach, leading a company reborn from the ruins of prejudice and suspicion. The lobby below is bustling with new life. The chatter of employee teams, the big screens displaying real-time data from our AI platform. Everything running like a machine programmed with the same vision I've been pursuing for nearly 2 decades. This is my empire, built from the ashes of denial, from the laughter of the past, and now every brick bears the mark of my will. And every day when I enter this space, I feel the presence of Lillian, who used to sit calmly with a cup of tea and sharp eyes, still whispering in my ear, "Just keep going. Don't stop." I'm in my office reviewing a report on Riverfront Plaza's turnaround when my assistant buzzes, "Miss Harper, your father's here." My stomach tightens, but I nod. "Send him in." Father steps through the door, his posture stiff, his gray hair thinner than I remember. He's an advisor now, a role I offered to preserve his dignity, but his eyes still carry the weight of a man who lost his throne. "Emily," he says, his voice gruff. "The quarterly numbers. They're impressive." I gesture to a chair. "Sit. What's on your mind?" He hesitates, then sits, his hands clasped. "I underestimated you," he says, the words slow, deliberate. "All those years I thought you were soft, like your mother. I was wrong." I lean back, studying him. "You didn't just underestimate me, Father. You dismissed me, told me I didn't belong in business. That dinner when I was 15, it shaped me. Not because I wanted your approval, but because I wanted to prove you wrong." His jaw tightens, but he doesn't look away. "I was protecting you. The world's brutal, Emily. I didn't think you could handle it." "Protecting me?" I laugh, sharp and unyielding. "You clipped my wings and called it love. But I flew anyway." He nods, his eyes dropping. "You did. And you saved this company. I'm proud of you." The words hit me harder than I expect, cracking the armor I've worn for years. I want to believe him, but trust is a fragile thing. "Thank you," I say, my voice steady. But pride doesn't erase the past. We move forward, but I'm in charge now. He nods again, rising. "I know. I'll do my part." As he leaves, I exhale, the weight of his words lingering. It's not forgiveness, not yet, but it's a start. The family's adjusted, some better than others. Thomas thrives in sales, his pragmatism aligning with my vision. William, leading community projects, has become my quiet ally, his guilt over the past fueling his support. James, unable to stomach my leadership, left for a rival firm, his parting words bitter. "You'll ruin it, Emily." I let him go. He'll see our success from the sidelines. Mother's transformation surprises me most. She corners me at a company event, her eyes bright with unshed tears. "Emily, I failed you," she says, her voice trembling. "I was weak, too afraid to challenge your father. Can you forgive me?" I hesitate, the memory of her silence at that dinner stinging. But her remorse is real, her hands twisting the way they always do when she's nervous. "I'm working on it," I say softly. "Keep showing up, Mother. That's a start." She nods, pulling me into a hug, and for the first time, I don't pull away. Harper Nova Enterprises is thriving, our platform revolutionizing real estate management. Riverfront Plaza, once a disaster, is now a model of efficiency, drawing national attention. But my vision stretches beyond profit. Last month, I launched the Lillian Harper Foundation, funding women in tech with scholarships and mentorship. At the opening gala, I stood before a crowd of young women, their eyes wide with ambition, and said, "You are not your doubts. You are not their limits. Build your future and let the world catch up." The memory of Lillian's letter, "Build your empire," grounds me. I keep it in my desk, a talisman against self-doubt. She saw me when no one else did, and this foundation is her legacy, a beacon for those the world tries to dim. Life isn't perfect. The wounds from my family run deep, and healing is slow. But I'm learning to balance, leading with strength, forgiving with caution. At a recent board meeting, William suggested a community outreach program, and I listened, really listened, for the first time in years. "Good idea," I said. and his smile was worth more than I expected. Tonight, I stand on my office balcony, the city lights sprawling before me. I'm not the girl who begged for a seat at the table. I'm the woman who built the table, who carved her place with grit and fire. Success isn't just the company, the money, or the headlines. It's living true to myself, honoring Lillian's faith and creating space for others to rise. I whisper into the night. Thank you, grandmother. I hope you see me now. The wind stirs gently, brushing my cheek like a blessing, like her hand, steady and sure. And for a fleeting moment, I feel her presence, not as memory, but as spirit. Proud, unyielding, mine. The battles, the heartbreak, the long silence, they led me here. Not back to Concord. That was never home. This is home. The life I built with bare hands, fierce love, and unshakable belief. I didn't return. I rose. The air feels softer now, the sharp edges of my story smoothed by time and truth. I'm Emily Harper, 30, standing at the helm of Harper Nova Enterprises, a company forged from my family's crumbling legacy and my own relentless ambition. Once, I was a 15-year-old girl, laughed out of a dining room for daring to dream bigger than my father's narrow vision. His words, "Business isn't for you," became my fuel, alongside grandmother Lillian's secret faith. She saw the fire in me, funded my education, and left me a trust to build my empire. In the shadows, I earned degrees, coded late nights, and co-founded Novatech Solutions with Lauren Chen, growing it to $300 million while my family thought me a mere assistant. When Harper Properties faced ruin, I struck, revealing myself as the CEO behind Stellar Ventures' lifeline. Their shock was my vindication, their surrender my triumph. I sapped their company, not to destroy, but to rebuild as Harper Nova, blending my tech with their legacy. Father advises, Thomas sells, William builds community, and Mother, remorseful, seeks redemption through charity. James, too proud, walked away. The Lillian Harper Foundation now lifts other women, ensuring no one is dimmed as I was. Healing with my family is slow, a dance of trust and caution, but I'm learning. Success isn't just power. It's living authentically, honoring Lillian, and opening doors for others. I've built my table, and I'm no longer alone at it. My story isn't revenge, it's resilience, a testament to those who rise despite the odds. Thank you for walking this path with me, for seeing me as I am. Thank you for listening to my story.